One Zambia, One Nation, and thanks for joining us on Zanis News. To present, I'm Juliet Mtale. The headlines. Chirundu Road accident claims 25 new Apostolic Church members. Health workers warned against double jobs. Government gives ultimatum to Tuta Bridge illegal settlers. Plus, Muchinga PS urges schools to revive production units. And now the news in detail. 25 members of the New Apostolic Church from Chongo district have died in a fatal road accident that occurred in Kapiringozi area along the Lusaka-Chirundu Road in the early hours of today. 5 more members are in a critical condition and battling for their lives in Mutendera Mission General Hospital in Chirundu after a Rosa bus they were traveling in carried off the road and plugged into a gorge. The members were en route to Siavonga for a one-day church gathering when they met their fate. Details in this report.
25 members of the New Apostolic Church from Chongo district in Lusaka province have perished in a fatal road accident that occurred at Kapiringozi area in the early hours of today. The New Apostolic Church members were en route for one-day church gathering in Siavonga district when they met their fate along the T2 Lusaka-Chirundu Road. According to some survivors of the fatal road accident who were admitted to the hospital, the bus allegedly developed a mechanical fault that led to the brakes failing. Both Chirundu District Commissioner Patrick Kasambila and Chirundu Town Council Chairperson Neves Muchindu confirmed the accident.
It was about 24 hours. Actually, according to the information we got outside, the bus actually developed a problem. Brakes went off, and that's how it went to hit into the track. So, at the scene itself, we lost about 4. Others were taken to the general hospital, about 12. Out of the 12 again, at the hospital, 1 passed away. So, 11 remaining. Out of the 11, I think we are taking 2 to UTS. Those who are in critical condition, and the 5 are still in the hospital. But we are planning even them to take them to UTS.
In the morning, we heard about critical ones were 7. So out of the 7, unfortunately, again lost 1 more person, and the other one has been referred to UTS. Now we are trying to mobilize for transport, because transport now is a challenge. All our vehicles have been assigned to take the dead bodies to Lusaka.
And Chirundu District Health Director Herbert Luhanga said 5 more survivors are in a critical condition and battling for their lives in Mtendere Mission General Hospital.
Seven are critical.
Then 6 are still managing for now. But we don't have anyone who is not injured.
By praise time, authorities in the district were making frantic efforts to evacuate those in critical conditions to University Teaching Hospital for specialized treatment and transport some bodies to either Kafue General Hospital mortuary, as the local ones have been overwhelmed. Zanis reports in Chirundu District, Southern Province.
Sad development indeed there. Now, Minister of Information and Media, Chushi Kasanda, has urged the African Media Convention to sustain its efforts of promoting the growth of the media on the continent through various forums. Ms. Kasanda said this when she officially closed the 2nd African Media Convention in Lusaka today. Details in this report by Bupe Sendwe.
Media experts, scholars, journalists, and other stakeholders from the 5 regions of the African continent met for the 2nd African Media Convention in Lusaka. The 3-day meeting that closed today was aimed at discussing issues surrounding the welfare of the media fraternity in order to develop sustainable solutions that safeguard media freedoms and safety of journalists in Africa. The government was represented by Minister of Information and Media, Chushi Kasanda.
May I add that Agenda 2063 also includes the need for Africa to attain a free, independent, and professional media that will serve as a catalyst that which the realization of our goals that we have set for ourselves as a continent can be difficult to attain. It is therefore our encouragement to the African Media Convention to sustain its efforts of promoting the growth of the media on the continent through forums such as this one.
International organizations emphasize the importance of media freedom and a safe working environment for journalists to maintain a resilient and healthy democracy.
According to the index, Africa has seen a few significant improvements, but journalism overall has become more difficult on this continent.
Reports were also given of cases where media laws and practices fall short of African and international standards.
That all governments, all oversight bodies, laws, regulations, and operating environments must enable freedom of opinion and expression and press freedom.
Meanwhile, media players commended the Zambian government for ensuring a non-hostile environment for media to operate.
A refreshing approach to media law reforms has sent a strong signal to other African countries that it is possible for governments to build a strong working relationship and a conducive environment for the media to operate in.
Not want to see all the work that has been done during this conference for 3 days going to waste because government officials have consigned these recommendations into drawers for many years.
The African Media Convention is a continental gathering which is held a week after the global celebrations of the World Press Freedom Day. Wupe Sendwe for Zanis News in Lusaka.
And in our health segment, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says government will address the issues of doctors and other health workers engaging in private jobs at the expense of performing duties at their respective workstations. Ms. Masebo says the trend by health practitioners is compromising quality service delivery. Let's take a look.
Nurses from 10 districts on the Copperbelt province have celebrated International Nurses Day with various activities. The nurses started with a Thanksgiving service at St. Andrew's United Church of Zambia in Ndola district before proceeding with a march past. Health Minister Sylvia Masebo officiated at this year's event.
Personally, as Minister of Health, and I stand to be corrected finally by Cabinet that a doctor or a nurse should continue to work as staff under Ministry of Health while running 4 jobs because it's not helping us. That's what I think personally. But this is a matter that the government of today will have to take a decision.
Ms. Masebo says government will soon address some of the challenges being faced by nurses
who have acquired higher grades and they expect their salaries to be also increased because they are supposed to be promoted, but they are not being promoted because the physical space is not sufficient. So what we are doing is using the budget for this year, using that allocation that has been given to us as Ministry of Health, we have taken the decision, the policy decision, as a government that is reacting to your concerns to say let us use this now to share among the various categories so that we bring you up.
The health practitioners have been urged to be flexible when attending to patients.
To adjust according to the patient you are trying to take care of. But the patients are different. Some will come with high temper, some will come in a different way. You need to have a big heart and be flexible and encourage them and be nice to them.
The Zambia Union of Nurses organization has called on governments to invest in the future of practitioners.
A final call to the government and the policymakers to invest in the nursing education and training, provide fair compensation and benefits, create policies that promote health worker environment for nurses and midwives.
This year's commemorations have been held under the theme, Our Nation, Our Future. Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Ndola.
You are watching Zanis News from Mass Media Complex. Kasama General Hospital One-Stop Center has recorded 49 cases of defilement and rape from January to March 2023. Among the defilement cases is a 13-year-old who has since fallen pregnant. Details in this report.
A 13-year-old girl child was defiled and is now pregnant. She is among the 49 cases of defilement and rape recorded from January to March 2023 at Kasama General Hospital One-Stop Center. Kasama General Hospital One-Stop Center psychosocial counselor Matilda Mbalamweshi gives details of sexual gender-based violence for the first quarter of 2023.
Under penetrative, that is on the defilement and the rape cases, we had the 49 cases, of which 33 were defilement cases. And the youngest to those children who were pregnant, we had a 13-year child who was pregnant. We also received the physical assault cases where 79 were female and 18 were male.
And Ms. Mbalamweshi is concerned with late reporting of rape and defilement cases.
Most of the cases that we receive, especially defilement cases, children, they come with the pregnancies. Meaning we still have that challenge where the parents or children themselves, they are not reporting cases on time.
Some Kasama residents have appealed to citizens to utilize the One-Stop Center.
Mwana kashinga kwata 13 years na 14 years bampanga development kumona mu byomekana napangana kwana ndelo mbaba kashana bananti bonse tuba kwata okutukira ku One-Stop Center
kulaba emilandu imwe ise yakuchati yama lepwesinga ofine nangu difao kulaba limbi mwekala panshingo olupoko kwine mwebene bamipela kwempya imo nishita musovere yawe ichinga chakuchati uteko bwingiramo pakupushe chichi musango echi.
Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Kasama, Northern Province.
Government has directed that over 500 traders who have illegally settled at the Tuta Bridge in Wapula Province to vacate the area. Central Province Minister and his Wapula Province counterpart have given the settlers a one-month ultimatum. Yubikile Nkunika reports that the traders who are from different parts of the country have built makeshift houses and toilets on the banks of Wapula River.
They have illegally settled about 100 meters from Tuta Bridge, a boundary between Chitambo and Samfya districts in Central and Wapula provinces respectively. These are traders who have decided to camp here mainly due to fish trade. The vast Wapula River is the source of their fish. But it is a game management area, and their stay here is illegal. These makeshift structures are their houses. They have built toilets on the banks of the river. Efforts to relocate them, following a court order, have failed. Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua and his Wapula Province counterpart, Derek Shilundika, led a team of officers to discuss the issue with the settlers with a view of relocating them.
We are creating a battalion here because we have abantu bamo tulabafuwa ya kusentro na kulo apula bali pange mirandu mwisa basa abera mapana
so tubombere pamo what feel in for land minister. Already there is a court order. The court order can be enforced even tomorrow. So we are pleading that the first order, the court order should not be enforced tomorrow.
The two ministers, who were accompanied by their permanent secretaries and district commissioners from the two districts, have given the settlers a one-month ultimatum in which to vacate the area.
Chimbi, katukwetena ndankala mbeshi suma oko twingala kusukira. Chilenga ndankala mbature imba mumbali omu. Ngachakutira nti obusali bwasankana na menshi. Ebuli obulwele mwisa mukumvu ati kolera. Atukonga 9. Obuteko tabule fo kurusa na ngumo kumulandi wanshi wakole.
From Monday we are starting counting. 30 days we start moving peacefully. Then by 15 June, by 18 hours there is no one here. We're expecting you to be, if you are
anyway, you have not gone home, but be 10 kilometers away from here. So you don't need to be harassed. Want the police to harass you.
The illegal settlers, however, want government to construct a canal to enable them conduct their businesses 10 kilometers away from the bridge.
For the same problem we're facing. Since you are engaged in that project,
Shupekilenko Nika for Zanis in Chitambo District, Central Province.
In other news, Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule has directed Education Authority in the region to engage all community schools to revive the production unit initiative. Mr. Mukungule says the initiative is aimed at inculcating knowledge of agriculture in the learners. Let's take a look.
With the education sector continuing to bear fruit since the recent recruitment of over 30,000 teachers, government has gone a step further to bring about initiatives for the learners. In this regard, Muchinga Province has chipped in to be the 5th province to relaunch the production unit in schools in a bid to inculcate knowledge in learners besides their normal schedules. Speaking during the provincial relaunch of the production unit at Witikila Girls in Mpika District, Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule has directed all school authorities to involve community schools in the production unit.
I wish to direct that all districts and the schools in the province should take production units seriously, as it is not optional but compulsory.
And Mchinga Province Education Officer Felix Ngoma highlighted the main objectives premised on the reintroduction of the production unit.
Most of the production unit that we have seen in our schools is done by teachers. That is not the design and intention of PEU. It is an activity for pupils because they are required to go some schools.
Stakeholders also called upon mentioned other benefits that the production unit will bring to the learners with their placed involvement.
I wish to assure and confirm to you that as head teachers in Muchinga Province, we will endeavor and make sure that production unit is seriously implemented.
The production unit in schools is another supplementary effort by government besides the free education policy. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Mpika, Chinga Province.
Meanwhile, Namala District Commissioner Ephraim Shandavu has appealed to farmers in the area to ensure that they store enough crop for home consumption to see them through the next harvesting season next year in 2024. Mr. Shandavu said the district experienced floods in the 2022-2023 crop farming season, which affected most of the crops. The district commissioner observed that most farmers put in a lot of resources in their fields, hence the need to ensure that they sell the crops for value for the money instead of the giveaway price. Mr. Shandavu pointed out that as government plans to announce the maize floor price through the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, farmers should ensure that they balance by keeping enough for home consumption. Namwala district experienced flash floods in the 2022-2023 farming season, which affected both crop and livestock farmers. Still in agriculture news, farmers in Joma district have appealed to government to beef up staffing levels and improve the conditions of service for the police officers to help curb stock theft in the area. Joma Dairy Association representative Mutinta Kabeleka said this when the Parliamentary Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs visited Joma to receive submissions on challenges faced by the police in their delivery of service.
The Parliamentary Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs is on a tour of Southern Province. Top on its agenda is the welfare and service delivery of the Zambia Police. In Choma, the committee, led by Chairperson, retired Brigadier General Morgan Sitwala, paid a courtesy call on the provincial administration before visiting Choma Central Police Station.
What we are doing is not an exercise in futility. The task that this committee has to ensure that we push government, we push the executive to ensure that the problems that we get are attended to.
The committee later proceeded to receive submissions from members of the public. Of great concern is stock theft, which is affecting not only the farming community, but also the economy of the province.
As we are speaking now, since it's harvesting time, there's cattle stealing, there's maize stealing. It's a disaster, and our farmers depend on these products for their income and for reducing poverty in rural areas. So we are asking that when you go back to the parliament, we need to relook at our policy on stock theft.
Other stakeholders have called for increased support to the police for enhanced security to both humans and property.
Most of us only know police as full of traffic officers, but when it comes to these other departments, I think they are not well staffed, especially the anti-stock theft units. We are reliably informed that there are only, five officers. I'm submitting that the issue of transport be looked into and employing of police officers.
Officers are highly demotivated as compared to other uniform personnel. Our prayer is that look into their welfare. They are also workers like any other. If they are supported in that vein, you will see even the morale will boost.
The committee has since proceeded to Kalomo and later Livingstone to receive more submissions. Runia Sakala, Zanis, in Choma, Southern Province.
Thank you, Runia, for that report. Tio Panjala Youth Club in Rufunsa District has projected to raise 600,000 kwacha from the sale of tomatoes in their gardening project. The youths, who are from Mulela village, benefited a grant of 40,000 kwacha from the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, under the Youth Empowerment component.
From the increased Constituency Development Fund, CDF, which now stands at 28.3 million kwacha from 25.7 million kwacha last year, it has resulted in an increase of projects being implemented in various constituencies across the country. For the youths of Mulele village in Rufunsa district, the increased CDF is a game changer for them, having embarked on production of tomatoes after receiving a grant of 40,000 kwacha from CDF under the Youth Empowerment component.
Garden yatu tikagulisa buno bwino. Tikagulisa buno bwino manga market wamenelili tingazikuwa tingakwanisa kuchosa yose pamoja 600 pin.
The youth group is planning big.
So plan ya netri nayo after tikamba harvest pali tomato. First thing tizambo faka mu account ndrama. Skapaka tizama problems yote ukabana school kuenda paka boyo primary school. Tufina kaka footbridge. Then chinango tizako nkapo manje tufina tankalako na pump inango ikulu yankala yabiri so that is yotalinga monshe garden yatu.
Group members even appeal to make to their fellow youths.
Nionga jabeziko mukuli ya president pamna nati kuganizirako pali program kuti naise tizipeza kako ma business monga aya ero food nilimbikisako wenango wanzatu amene wali obwerera kumbuyo amene waona monga kapina vilibe pindu ibintu bina pindu ya bwino
tiri ma garden ndiye chito amene tipanga kuti tizitsanzirako pa the youth ndaunga chwa chabe mwandi nichoi pakai wenango pezeka chira kumwa chemowa wenango bali maba wenango chabe bakwatiri wachabe bena vochita but funika wangako na life ya bu.
Jonathan reporting for Zanis News in Rufunsa, Lusaka province.
Finally, in the news tonight, government says it is committed to addressing challenges emanating from indiscriminate disposal of waste. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, says government will continue to engage all stakeholders in addressing solid waste management issues in settlement areas. He said this when he officiated at the public awareness raising campaign to promote environmental stewardship in Lusaka. Here are the details.
A clean environment is key to the existence and survival of life on planet Earth. This is so because it reduces pollution, protects endangered species, and helps preserve the Earth's natural resources. This is why the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development was at City Market to officiate and engage with marketeers on the importance of a clean and safe environment.
It is extremely important that a journey of 1 million miles begins with one step. Here you called me to support you through my government on the issue of cleanliness and healthiness. There are things my relatives, my kinsmen, my brothers, my sisters, that are not negotiable.
And Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Administration emphasized on government's effort on waste disposal.
Our ministry, that is on the government side, we shall work with the marketeers to ensure that this situation is corrected. Secondly, the minister has actually emphasized on the point that the council police and state police will begin acting on those people who are buying from illegal traders or vendors because it is against the law.
An environmental activist who was the organizer of the public awareness raising campaign called on marketeers to practice friendly waste disposal.
Ubusaka ebuyantanshibwa kyalo pantu nga tapali ubusaka then nishipalaba amalwele busheimo bonse mwe bali pano kuti mwatemoko bati government ile amukushita imiti nangu government fwe bantu fwe bene tulesunga obusaka epotuli ndesubira bonse kuti mwatemoko ati wherever we are keeping our places clean.
Meanwhile, marketeers at the city market expressed their concerns.
Customer ngachoke mu street kupokula mu market tikulisa nsapato mu road zilimo titunga ma uniform materas bali full mu road batantika batundira kuti batayira kuti doti yao ndiye baleta doti ife mukati titandaula baboma stikulisa ise mukati panja peka chili panja chili mukati.
For Zanis in Lusaka, Amona Chibende.
As we end the news, we recap on the headlines. Chirundu Road accident claims 25 new apostolic church members. Health workers warned against double jobs. Government gives ultimatum to Tuta Bridge illegal settlers. And Muchinga PS urges schools to revive production units. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. My name is Juliet Mdelese. Enjoy the rest of the programming. Bye-bye.